Hi there, folks. Simon here with another one of those 7x7 Chandrian Invitational Tak games, this time between gowellja and archvenison. Now, if you didn't see yesterday's game, archvenison took on Aliano 2 and emerged victorious. So he's coming hot off of a win here and taking on gowellja. These games are pretty awesome, pretty fun, and we're going to see some pretty high-level play between these two players, both in the top 10. And archvenison is the director of this tournament, and he's the one who first proposed the idea of doing 7x7 and got interested in it from the beginning. So we are good to go. They have created the game. I am ready to go. So let's get started with this one game match, because these are one game with two komi, 15 minutes on the clock with a 20-second increment. So let's get started with game one and the only game between gowellja and archvenison right away. All right, and we're seeing G7 as the first play here. And then A7, so we're getting that adjacent corner opening. Will white immediately attack this D4 square? No, instead going for the standard knight's opening that we see in 6x6. So not going to go for the different strategies for 7x7, which is interesting. Really pushing for that knight's opening, and I think that's smart because that's sticking to strengths, sticking to what he knows. While he doesn't have very much experience in 7x7, he's going with what he knows here in 6x6 and just transferring that information. So we're seeing him continue on going for this vertical threat, whereas archvenison, who has a little more experience in 7x7, immediately attacking that center square and getting control of the center. And then moving towards that line that gowellja is building, dropping the first capstone. Again, they do have two capstones each on a 7x7 board, which makes this very different strategically to a 6x6 or a 5x5 or any of these others. So very, very different in terms of how you're going to play this. And I think archvenison is doing a pretty good job here, but gowellja is also playing smart. I'm surprised to not see that first capstone dropped from gowellja. It's taking a little bit of time for him. He's got two, and I think that in those first like 8 moves or so, you definitely want to drop your first one. Dropping it here, I think, is interesting. I see what he's trying to do. He wants to capture up onto d4 with the capstone and cut black's capstone and his whole line basically in half. That makes a lot of sense. But he's placed it right next to the other capstone, and I don't know, that could be problematic here in the future. Looks like black building along for this horizontal threat. White's going to go up ahead and wants to bring that capstone up and go for their own horizontal. So that's why white's building off here at e5. Probably going to continue on and bring that capstone up, trying to make that threat. Black is going to do something in the meantime to basically throw a wrench in those plans, I'm pretty sure. If we look at the time right now, it's only 7 moves in, but archvenison has taken quite a bit more time than gowellja has. Gowellja's been taking much shorter turns so far. Black now playing up here at c6. Playing up at c6 does give him the opportunity to capture down onto c5 and ruin that line, or capture over with d5 onto c5. And so that would be working towards that vertical threat and also interrupting that horizontal that white has been trying to build for so long. I think that's a pretty smart play. Black might want to build that anchor point up at c7 or build down below at c2 first. But I believe that if he does, we're going to see that capstone come up right away, being able to come across here onto c4. White's not in too bad of a position here, but neither is black. So I definitely wouldn't count either of them out of the game yet. It's pretty even. All right, white building across. Didn't bring that capstone up as I expected. A little bit differently. All right, now archvenison, instead of continuing for that vertical line, building across horizontally. Now, white building up at b6, trying to build an anchor point up here to the a7 to go for both the horizontal and the vertical lines at once. That's pretty smart, I'd say. Pretty smart. Now we've got white building across here to stop black from building that anchor point up along this edge of the board. And then black building here to keep white from getting that anchor point on the bottom here. White now just 2 moves away from attack threat. Black 1 move away from attack threat. How will this one play out? Gonna make that capture first. This is attack threat for black. White is going to need to defend this, either by placing something here. Capturing up is the smart move there. Finally bringing that capstone up. Black brings their own capstone up, ready to interrupt everything that white is trying to do with their own capstone, bringing it up onto d5 and interrupting that vertical line here. But in so doing, abandons that position for the horizontal line that he's been working for a while. White dropping that second capstone in a very solid spot. I really like that positioning from white. I didn't even consider that position, but it is an excellent position for that capstone. I think that may have tripped archvenison up a little bit. Excellent, excellent play from gowellja. And when we take a look at the time here, he's also been playing so quickly. He's almost up at 18 minutes on the clock, starting again with 15 minutes and getting 20-second increment each turn. And archvenison just above that 15-minute mark, so still playing below the 20-second average turn duration, but not quite as quick as gowellja. Gowellja is building up quite a strong buffer here in terms of time. And we have noticed that time has been a factor in all of the Chandrian games so far. And I say all of the Chandrian games so far. There have been 2 in this tournament this year. Time did play a factor in last year's tournament in quite a few of the games, but this one, so far, it's 100% getting below that 1-minute mark. So we're going to see instead a d2 be placed here from black, trying to build that connection across, and then white coming down with that capstone, ready to come over onto b2 and create that tag threat yet again. Or, more likely, white wants to build here at a6. Placing at a6 would be a tag threat in the vertical and the horizontal directions by capturing up onto d5 or capturing over onto b2. So this, I believe, is where we're going to see a6 or b7 be played. a6 is played. This is now a 2-pronged attack threat. That doesn't stop it. White is going to take the win here by capturing upward. A very, very quick game here. Archvenison just blundered, did not notice the 2-pronged attack threat there. I believe it was not Tinue immediately. I think that from this, black could have come across with c6 to the left, and that would have stopped both threats. And then white would have played a5, and then 2b6 minus, and yeah. So I don't think that it was Tinue, but it was pretty damaging, and we saw very, very quick game. Archvenison just blundered, missed that dual threat, and wow, that was crazy. But yeah, just 17 turns. Wow, that was insane. So this was the gowellja versus archvenison game, and that is gowellja taking this one. So now archvenison is 1-1, and gowellja is 1-0 in terms of their record in this tournament so far. Gowellja only having played 1 game. Archvenison, this is his second, coming right off of his previous victory. So really, really well played to both players, especially to gowellja. Played a phenomenal game and very quickly. You know, anyone who watches my games knows that I played way too quickly. So really well done. Thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to check out the description below for all things TAK, especially the TAK Discord server, which is where you can find all sorts of people to play with and talk with, all sorts of resources as well. Tons and tons of resources like strategy guides, videos, and homemade sets and all sorts of different things like that. In addition, you can play people asynchronously right through the Discord. That's right, correspondence games where there is no time limit. You can play just 1 move a day if you want to. great way to get in some tack if you only have a few minutes every day to play. Or you can find people to play with on the Discord and say, hey, let's play a game on playtak real quick. But the Discord is also where we organize all these tournaments and things like that, so be sure to check that out. And again, thanks for watching, and until next time, have a great day and happy tacking.